there was too many minutes. He was playing too many darn minutes. I actually was covering that game, and he was playing 35 something minutes. And I'm all for him playing every game. That's not the thing, but playing 35 minutes, I just felt like it was a lot, and it's natural. I can tell you, it wears on you regardless of what your mind. Your body is talking to you, saying, "Okay, we need to slow back." So obviously, you take practice time off. We know he doesn't like to miss practice, and he wants to play in games, and he's playing to win. I get it, but
Vince Carter has brought back one of basketball's most heated debates. And this time the conversation is getting even more attention because it isn't coming from a typical online commentator trying to go viral, but from a respected Hall of Famer who played in the league for more than 20 years, experienced both the Eastern and Western conferences, and earned a level of respect that makes his opinions carry real weight. After a clip of him went viral and kept circulating across social media, LeBron James once again became the center of discussion as fans revisited his 8 straight finals appearances and continued to argue about whether that achievement should be judged differently given the relatively smoother path in the East compared to the far more competitive and chaotic Western Conference during that era.
You preserve him in the first half, and you play your bigger minutes in the second half when he gets better. So I just feel like you have to find time to dial him back, because do you need LeBron James more in the beginning of the season when AD's playing like this, or do you need him from the middle to the back end of the year?
The debate gets intense here. Nobody denies that LeBron James was dominant or that his career achievements are legendary. The real argument is about how he reached those milestones and whether the conditions around him made the journey less difficult than it appears. His record, 10 NBA Finals appearances, and that 2011 to 2018 streak highlighted by NBA.com, is still historic, but critics, including points linked to Vince Carter, argue that finals numbers alone don't show the full picture when the Eastern Conference was much weaker than the stacked West. That context is why this discussion keeps going viral.
It's about the other guys playing well and being aggressive.
And by the other guys playing well, it allows him to rest. He doesn't have to exert so much energy in the first quarter like he had to do when he scored 24 points in game 2, when he scored 24 points and they still were down and he ran out of gas. Yeah. And I mean, he's human. He's going to run out of gas. So those guys exerting themselves in the first quarter and just really just doing what they're doing in the first quarter helps him.
Back then, the Western Conference wasn't just competitive. It was extremely tough every season. Breakdowns of the 2010 to 11 era from NBA.com describe it as stacked with elite teams all over the place. The Los Angeles Lakers remained a major threat. The San Antonio Spurs continued their dominance. The Oklahoma City Thunder were rapidly rising. And the Dallas Mavericks were making serious championship noise. Later, things only intensified with the Golden State Warriors dynasty, the rise of the Los Angeles Clippers' Lob City era, and the Houston Rockets turning into an offensive powerhouse. Because of that, many fans and former players argue that Vince Carter wasn't being negative, just pointing out reality. The West often felt like a constant playoff level battle, while the East had fewer teams that posed the same consistent threat. During LeBron James's Miami run from 2011 to 2014, the path through the East looked comparatively smoother, with teams like the aging Boston Celtics, physical but limited Indiana Pacers, and solid but less dominant Toronto Raptors and Atlanta Hawks not matching the same intensity as Western contenders. That contrast is the heart of Carter's argument. Not that LeBron wasn't dominant, but that his conference gave him a less punishing route compared to the brutal competition out West, which is exactly why this debate keeps dividing basketball fans every time it resurfaces.
As far as inspiration, I didn't take much inspiration from Vince, but I've always admired his ability to do what he did on the floor. So I mean, the man would jump out of any gym, and that you always kind of had that wild moment when you saw Vince play. But I didn't have much inspiration from him. I gained inspiration from other.
The discussion splits fans into two clear camps. One side immediately interprets Vince Carter's remarks as disrespect toward LeBron James, while the other sees it as long overdue context that has been overlooked in debates about NBA history. Neither group is willing to give ground, which keeps the argument alive online. The tension grew even more when LeBron eventually moved to the Western Conference. According to NBA.com, he joined the Los Angeles Lakers in 2018, and his first season there ended without a playoff appearance. That year is often used by supporters of Carter's viewpoint as evidence that the West presented a much tougher challenge, since the same player who consistently dominated the East suddenly faced a far more difficult path. While injuries also played a major role in that season, the broader comparison continues to fuel the argument that conference strength significantly shaped how difficult each journey really was.
He was playing 35-something minutes, and I'm all for him playing every game. That's not the thing, but playing 35 minutes, I just felt like it was.
The Western Conference was far more intense than the East during LeBron James' streak, with constant playoff-level matchups and little room for error. Vince Carter's point is that this context matters when judging legacy debates based only on finals appearances. While LeBron's 8 straight finals runs and 10 total appearances remain historic, critics argue stats must be viewed alongside factors like conference strength, injuries, and competition, not in isolation.
If LeBron is playing great, I feel like he should be the guy you should throw your jabs at, because he can take it. He can handle it, because now if I could go at LeBron and AD, I can go at anybody and everybody falls in line. Or they have to fall in line. Because if I could go at the best player, I could go at guys who don't play much and expect the world from these guys, because I expect the world from them.
If I'm JJ, I'm pulling LeBron aside.
I agree.
I'm pulling LeBron aside and say, listen, I'm about to jump you, man, in front of the team.
Hey,
don't take it personal, but I am going to get in your ass right now just so I can send a message.
You were on the team in Dallas when Carlisle went at Dirk like that.
Yeah. He pulled basically Dirk aside and said, listen, I'm going to go out. Don't take it personal, but I am going to try and gain.
That's good leadership.
That's
correct. And when we saw that, we're like, well, damn, if he's going to go at this Hall of Famer, what can we say?
Right.
We got to tighten up.
This is why the debate is still so loud. Some fans see Vince Carter's comments as disrespect toward LeBron James, while others see it as honest context about how different the conferences really were. Carter's credibility is a big reason it spread so fast. He isn't a random voice, but a veteran who understands the league deeply. The NBA's obsession with legacy talk also fuels the fire. Every finals run, loss, and championship gets turned into all-time debates. LeBron has been at the center of that for years, and his dominance in the East, 10 finals appearances, and that historic 2011 to 2018 run highlighted by NBA.com is still unmatched. But critics argue the Western Conference during that same era was far more stacked, making the road significantly tougher for other stars. Even LeBron's move to the West added fuel to both sides. Supporters point to his later success with the Lakers as proof he could still win in a tougher conference, while critics highlight how much harder his first season there was compared to his Eastern runs. That's why this debate never ends. The same facts are used to tell completely different stories about greatness, competition, and legacy in NBA history.